why, and this is such a weird thing to me, but like I'm very put myself in other people's shoes types of a person as much as I can. And I think about weird things when it comes to this, like the people who make recordings for diarrhea and fart sounds for movies and TV shows. And I even saw a documentary on some guy that did it for Harold and Kumar, because there's like a battle shit scene or whatever. And man, this guy, like, he did his work. He did his work, man. He like went out and found all the best farts and the best ways to record it. And he was like, do I do it naturally? He like went into public stalls and just waited for people to come in and take a dump. And he was recording next to them and just trying to find the best ways or the most, like, oh my God.
Yeah, man, you got to get your reference material.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I guess he's just a sound guy. He's not like just a fart guy, you know what I mean? So it's like, but his mission was farts, so, or diarrhea sounds or whatever. It's just the passion, man. The passion for the perfect sound.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What's up, everybody?
Hi.
Happy Monday. I look a little green. We blame Pixel for that, though.
Yeah, I don't know why you're blaming me for that. Like I'm distraught by that.
I gotta blame something. What about this? Oh yeah, see, there we go.
Oh, I was tanning all weekend, guys.
I am the sun now. Yeah, because I can't separate it and our lighting's different, so it's always gonna be a thing until I figure that out.
Wow, I feel like we look the most professional today than ever.
I have double chat. We do, actually. We do. Guys, this is a professional Raw today. Started off talking about fart sounds.
If you put like a nice thick bar in between us, like a nice thick metallic bar, eventually, boom. Oh, yeah, baby.
Oh.
Then you get to that seam. Oh, what's that?
This is my gaming computer. I was just turning off the chat because it was doubled up.
Oh, wow.
But this looks okay, too.
That's all right. We got the taskbar on the bottom.
I could just...
People will probably try and think they're watching their screen, and they'll click the things at the bottom. You can make things pop up.
Is that a move?
How much do you want to move?
No, I mean, is that like a move to make? Making the move? This is unnatural. Switch sides back. Oh, right. We were on opposite sides on the other side, on the other scene.
Oh, right. We were. Were we?
Yeah.
Oh.
See? Confuses people.
Oh, yeah. Really confused people. Yo, we could be having like a conversation like this. I don't know if I'm facing the right way.
You are?
Yeah.
Hey.
And then you could switch scenes and we can switch.
Yes. Yes.
So you have to like give a signal for this when the switch happens, right?
Okay.
So we could be like having a great conversation.
Anytime
then...
we get raw, it's like, okay, I'm going to get raw. And then boom.
Oh.
Listen. Everyone sucks. That's raw.
Oh, that's good. That's so raw, dude. I like it.
Curly needs to be in the middle. Curly's just looking up at you like he's in love. Madly in love.
He's listening to the raw. Getting professional out here, man. We could like scene changes and everything. Holy
We're doing
cow.
it. I could even make a button for it instead of clicking it. That
Dude, this pineapple on pizza emote. See, I don't mind pineapple on pizza, but that emote triggers me. It does its work. Does its work. How about you?
I mean, it doesn't bother me because I know it's there to bother people. I mean, honestly,
Twitch put it
think
in there?
about this. Let's think about this. Kev, you might actually like
emote.
it. It's a Twitch global emote. Yeah, they did it to trigger. They know it's a hot topic or whatever. But let's think about it for a second.
Okay.
Because this is good for both sides. The pineapple pizza lovers are like, yeah, pineapple and pizza. We got an emote. And pineapple and pizza haters are like, look at the fucking emote. It's a pizza and a pineapple. It's not pineapple on pizza.
Is that really what the haters are thinking.
I mean,
That's really what they're thinking.
I'm okay with it because of that. It's not like like your thing in marbles where it's like it looks like the actual pizza. This is just like, hey, here's a pizza, here's a pineapple. Do with it what you wish. And I'm like, I'm gonna eat the pizza, and then I'll eat the pineapple later. No, if a pineapple was on my pizza like that, I would just take it off.
Would you eat the
I'd
pizza?
be like, why is this pineapple on my pizza like
this? Now
this?
that pizza's dirty.
No, I'd still eat it.
Not a dirty pizza.
Pizza's dirty already.
Pizza dirty already. Okay.
It was an April Fool's emote. Yeah, there was a couple others, I think, that they had out as well. I don't remember them, though.
They're just out to trigger the world, just like me now.
Yeah.
Triggered the universe.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think you want to do that?
Because it's entertaining.
Why is it entertaining?
Because I like to get people all riled up over, like, in my opinion, stuff that's nothing.
Right.
Right?
Hoping, ultimately, maybe, deep inside, to teach them that it's not that big of a deal, right? Or, like, this is just, you know, what are you going to do against the things that you...
Yeah, well, they say, you know, you can get conditioned to things, right? So if you get triggered enough, eventually that trigger should go away, right? It's like if you want to get over your fear of heights. Like if I wanted to get over my fear of heights, because I do have a fear of heights, I would go to the tallest building once a day.
And I hate driving, but I know if I drive more...
Yeah. It's experience. That's what it is, right?
Yeah. It's like streaming, too, you know? Stream more, then you get more comfortable with things. And
True.
That's why, like, resetting my stream and rebuilding it is so fucking tough because I've get in this routine for so long of, like, same buttons, same things, and then, like, I want to clean it up, organize it, move it around, and it's like everything's just different, so you have to start that process over. But
yeah, man,
it is a cleaner process because of just, again, experience. I've done it a few times now, so, like, I know how to make things more organized and whatever.
Yeah, dude. No, it's your chance to iterate, right? Take things to the next level, right? You put it together the next time, you're like, oh, wait, I already know how to do the basics, and you push to the next level the next time, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what I just did with my workspace. And technically, you know, OBS is your workspace, right? When you stream, like, OBS is your tool. Yeah. Where it's like, my desk is my workspace, and
and also same here, like, the new setup as well is juiced it up. So yeah. I think that's going to juice you up, too.
Hell, oh, dude, I feel juiced, man. Like, just doing it. Obviously, I'm sore as fuck from doing all the work. Yeah. But it was like just sitting down and being like having all the monitors set up in like a thought out way. Because this time I was like, okay, I know what it's like having it. So So what I did is I just put the monitors out before I put anything in place. I put all the monitors out and just felt it. Like, they're all black and just like not on or anything, right?
Like, where do you want to go?
I was just like, okay, like, do I like this? Do I want this set up? And then I put it out, and then I was like, wait, I have that big tablet downstairs. I should bring that up and use it. And so now I have like a big.
Oh, I thought that was like a new thing.
No, we had it. I bought it for Tom like years ago at this point, and we stopped working, like COVID. We stopped working out of the office. And it just sat with his old setup, and I was like, you know what? I'm taking that. And yeah, so taking things to that next level, right? Yeah. Then you get extra motivated and just I streamed every day last week. Blew my mind apart. It was so good.
Yeah, I just had to. I mean, it sucks, I guess, because like I set a bunch of stuff up, and then I realized a better option, and I just wiped everything again. So yesterday I spent it was a good day. I got a lot done yesterday, but like, yeah, I just had to take the day to just plow through it all.
That's good.
Yeah. Guys, feel free to use the Get Raw Redeem literally about anything you want to talk about, what's going on in the season, how you're feeling about the world, marbles, anything. Welcome
it's good to
Raw.
see everybody chasing their gemmies.
Yeah.
You know? And then people are tweeting that, oh, I hit my 10K. Mm-hmm. And just seeing that is like, obviously, it's really stimulating, right? Like in terms of I think for the rest of the community is to see people hitting their goals, not just at the end of the season, right? Because like normally it was just at the end of the season, everybody talks about the things they hit, and then the next season's coming so quickly. Or now we're already seeing people achieving goals, and whether they step away for a couple weeks or they still hang out, but they're in a more chill form because they hit their goal. They don't care about the top 50. I think that it's going to bring just like a fresh feel to. I think it already is bringing a fresh feel to the ecosystem.
I think so. I think so. I think like, I mean, just to be a little raw. Like going for, I see it every once in a while. Going for like the top spots can be really stressful for people, and they feel like maybe they need to roll certain places to get the amount of points they need to get to the top. So like having something else where it's like, okay, I can still build up my Gemron and like not feel the pressure of so much, even just the pressure of the competition in general, because you have to do so much to be in the top 50 or even top 100. So like, yeah, just having that goal, I think, is a huge incentive for people to be like, cool, I can enjoy marbles somewhat the way I want to and not have to actually crank my face into oblivion to get that reward.
Yeah. And that oblivion is relative to the hardest grinder of the season, right? So it's always like, yeah, it's just interesting stepping back and making some changes in that sense.
Yeah, I'm mad I haven't gone for it, but like it's just bad timing. I got so much shit going on. Like maybe I can get 3,000 points.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, in the end, it's still a tough grind, right? It's not easy.
Yeah,
the amount that it is, and maybe next season I'll bring it down again, and we'll see. But I so far it's in a decent spot. I think like me trying for it, doing a little bit of pushing and just like here and there and just seeing how many points I get.
Yeah.
I like that it's not easily reachable. Like I'm like, in one sense, I'm like, man, I wish I could really like, I already had it, but then are we devaluing the system, right? And I want to be cognizant of that level. And maybe it could move a little bit down, but I think we're around that point of like, it's still valuable. And you got to put the time in to get it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if you marble and you get it, like how hard it is to get like those points, getting those high Gemron badges is a is a lot of work.
Yeah.
So do you think that this type of thing is going to continue then, like a certain amount of points for gemming?
I think so. I like it. I like seeing the community just engage with it, right? And we're going into like some very interesting features coming out.
Yeah.
For the community and stuff. So anything to keep people interested and hype and allowing people to participate at different levels. We're getting to that push, right? We're getting to that point of like scale, I guess you can call it. I don't think we're at scale, obviously, and we're far from scale.
Yeah.
But I think we're getting into that point of going for scale. It's like, okay, the game's in a decent spot. The community is very strong. The community, I mean, at this point, the community's survived and powered through some of the worst times in the game, right? And some of the lowest points of the game, like where the dry spells and hard changes, right? I've changed this game so much. So there's that whole sense of it. So yeah, I feel like it's time, and there's a lot of good features coming in that can help scale the ecosystem as well. So just everything kind of leaning into the system at once. Anybody who wants to participate and with what we're launching is gonna have a blast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like on both sides too. Like building it up now, just from what you're talking about, is going to be beneficial in the future in terms of like the rev share. Like if you're starting to build now, then when the rev share does come out, you're going to have a better opportunity because of the experience thing you talked about. Or if you're going for these like, Gemron points as a viewer slowly at a time, then when, if you're gonna stick out in the future, basically, when there's so many people or whatever.
No, totally. Yeah, the more people coming into the ecosystem, the shorter the seasons as well, right? There's Gemrons will still be rare at this point. They're still rare. More people are getting them per season, but
the rev share is going to be really interesting.
I totally agree. It's very interesting. There's never been an incentive, like we've never really incentivized streamers to push our stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like
other
when
than
has
for
there
a
really
ball
been
in the game,
incentives
basically,
for that, right? Yeah,
and
the
that's
ball. And then
once you learn, it's like that's so much work.
Yeah, but even the ball, it's great and everything, but it doesn't truly bring deep value to the streamer, right? It's a ball in the game, but they don't make money off of it. We don't have a method of like sharing that revenue in a legal and clean way, right?
Right.
So it's like, okay, and now there's that incentive. So now if you take that incentive and layer it with winning a skin in the game and having your emote, I feel like that just like pushes everything further. So if you have a skin in the game, now you have incentive to, hey guys, maybe grab my skin. It supports me, right? It supports the streamer. And the more you play marbles, the more you'll make off that revenue, right? So if you're a tier 3, you would be making a much higher percentage as a tier 1 person, not in terms of sub, but in terms of
right.
relation to the streamer to the rev share program.
Yeah.
And that all reflects off XP, which we've designed the XP system to promote positive play of the game in general. Yeah. Obviously, you can really gamify it and play that min-max. But overall, I think it's built into a very strong ecosystem and a strong community.
I'm just thinking, like, when it first comes out and people learn how much experience they need or whatever, and that word gets spread around, it'll be interesting to see, like, I want, like, the people that are like, I want rev share, and then they, like, this is their goal to, like, get to a certain point and just see what people do, I guess.
Yeah. It'll be really interesting. I mean, there'll be so many people on the program already. All they'll need to do is log into the system and check in and be like, oh, I'm on. And then they'll see their next progress. If they're not tier 3, let's say they're tier 1, they log in, they're like, okay, you got tier 1. Here's your next goal if you want to go for it. And then they have paths. And I think that even having those paths could make the push beyond partner more interesting in terms of partner and Twitch, right? So like you reach partner, you know how we always talked about that is like when you reach partner, what else do you have to chase?
Right.
What else is there for you as a streamer to really
you have to like create your own goals, which is a great thing to do, but it's not always so easy. Like I do better when there's a goal for sure that I didn't necessarily come up with myself. It's just easier.
Right. It's so much easier. It's all put in front of you and it's like, okay, now I can go for that next.
Yeah.
So many partners, as we've spoken before, lose their way once partners hit because that was like a pinnacle moment. It was something they chased for however much time it took them. And then you reach it, and then if you don't have a business mind, you don't have it set up that like you're creating an ecosystem that you want to keep growing and these different like goals to reach, you can get stuck. We've watched it happen. So I really don't like watching that happen. So yeah, hopefully we can layer with that and add more incentives to people's paths.
Yeah.
I mean, even the top end is technically maybe not easier, but you could reach that top end before you reach partner for sure. Like that's not gonna be partner needed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, how many people are like known and then come to Twitch and then like get the partner or whatever?
Right.
Is that's basically what you're saying? Well, part of it.
Part of it.
28th and 29th of May will be another Marble Fest. Or still once in 2 months? Once in 2 months still.
Yeah.
So.
We're not ready for monthly fests yet.
Yeah.
There's so much work that goes into those.
Yeah.
Lining everybody up, getting the skins done, all the promotion. And like I feel like each time we do it, we're like adding more to the process. So it's like, okay. So getting to that monthly level is going to be challenging.
I think like I want streamers to make like pitch videos, you know, of why they think they should be in Marble Fest. Even if it's just a small clip, like just take a clip from your stream, whatever. This is why I think I should be in Marble Fest. Blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think that'll achieve?
It'll show me the people that really want it. Like, even if it's just taking a small clip, but it's still like a step. And I just want to see how many people would be interested, I guess. I don't know. Because like that's what it comes down to with the monthly thing. Like we could just pick a whole bunch of people to run Marble Fest, but I think that would eventually turn Marble Fest to crap. Like, we want to pick people who want to do it. We want to pick people who want to be streamers, you know, who want to put on shows, who, you know, love the game and they're good at explaining the game and whatever, all this stuff.
No, I think that's great. I mean, I was just trying to get the reasoning out of you.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I think it's a really, like, I think that's a strong direction.
I think the hardest part about Marble Fest stuff is the computer, the
hardware.
The hardware, yeah, with all the balls and the lag and like.
No, totally. Like during the pitch video, they should have 1,000 marbles rolling in the background.
Oh my god, yes.
Like
put on a simulation of 1,000 balls for a 1 minute, 2 minute race and explain why you think you should be a part of Marble Fest.
Yeah. Don't talk about the 1,000 balls rolling though. That's just a background thing.
But then at the same time, like this is no, because that's. I was gonna say this would be more for the marbles community, because like how would streamers outside the community that roll marbles hear about it? But it's happened before where the viewers know about Marble Fest and the streamer doesn't. And the viewer reaches out and says, "Hey, this person would be great," you know.
But that could also be a self-marketing tactic. Is like those pitch videos, they're meant to go up on Twitter and they hashtag for Marble Fest or something, right? Application for Marble Fest. And then you just go into that search and then you find all the videos and start making notes.
That's a good idea.
I mean, it's strong. It's a strong idea. I think it'll be a challenging switch because nobody's ever done that before in the community. And they've always been picked, right?
Yeah.
But if you're a content creator, creating a little video shouldn't be a challenge.
Right. And I mean, the tweet I made for the last Marble Fest got a decent amount of recognition. So like if all those people that were like, oh, I think this person should do it, and all those people that were like, I think I should do it, and they knew that they had to make a little clip video, like how many of them would have made it?
Right. And you could even have it so that their community can, like, the community will like their posts, right?
Yeah.
The more likes can be not necessarily like a requirement, but it can show you who has a certain level of engagement.
Yeah.
Which all brings power to the ecosystem. Because if you think about it, you have X amount of streamers who are in this show, right?
Mm-hmm.
The show starts off hot, right? Because nobody has the skins. Right? So as the show goes on, it tapers off.
Mm-hmm.
The more hype people, the more show creators you have throughout the event, the greater chance of keeping that hype going will be. Right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's also something to take into account, is that if you're before or after somebody who doesn't create a show, I don't want to say hype, because there's different levels of shows, right? There's all kinds of different shows, right? There could be chill shows, hype shows, it doesn't matter. So hype's probably the incorrect word for this. But if you have somebody who is really good at engaging and creating content, it layers with the next person, right? So in a way, even though they don't work together, it's still like they're working together, right? And with us doing the tweets, it's not bad, but if each streamer that was in the show did their own little segment video before they go live, they tweeted it, and then the studio engages with that tweet, that's more powerful than us doing all the tweeting.
Yeah.
Because it engages all the communities. It gets everybody involved.
Yeah.
But if you have like one streamer who does it and then 5 that don't, and then one streamer who does it, you lose momentum. Right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean that's a good Marble Fest builder tool as well that could be implemented easily just by communicating in the Discord with all the hosts, you know?
Yeah. But there's definitely ways to like push Marble Fest to the next level. Right? With just everybody working closer together and building out more content. And it only makes the show better for them, right? It makes the show better for the streamers.
Yeah.
But that's a big evolution.
Yep.
Right? I think, you know, there's content within the community. We know that. But taking that content to the next level, or if you haven't started generating content, it's challenging to get going, right? It's challenging to start. You have to learn how to edit. You have to learn how to extract videos, right, from your streams and using all this stuff.
Yep. Which isn't always easy.
Of course not.
It's definitely time consuming.
Yeah. But we're in the stage, you know, of the economy where you got to build. If you're not building, you're fading.
Yeah.
Right? We're at the point that like you're either some like and it sucks to really take this to this level, but I mean, I'll probably talk about this more during my class in a couple days. But like if you're really not equating your stream as a business, this is the time when businesses fail. Like, right? Like this is when the pain is here and it sets in because not everybody is liquid cash. Right? It's not like 2 years ago during the start of the pandemic where like subs were flying everywhere. Right? Like people are not as liquid as they were 2 years ago. And that means the subbage is only going to certain places. It's going to the best shows, the ones who are around the most, right? And if you're not ready to accept that information and act on it, you will start fading. And whatever your pain is, like however long you can last, your runway is what a lot of people call it in the business world. What kind of runway do you got? In terms of like, if you make $0 every month, how long can you go, right? If your runway is good, then you're prepared, right? If you got a year, 2 years to roll, whatever, don't listen to what we're saying. But if you're not taking this into account, it could be painful. Right? You could be in a challenging time.
Yeah.
And it's so important to keep building during this time. And don't lean into all the negativity that could be coming around, the drama, because drama will spark easier now, right?
Oh yeah.
We're also in the summertime, which is a quieter time for Twitch in general. Not even Twitch, the online ecosystem, right?
Yeah, man. Big true.
Big true. So it's good to see a lot of some of the creators just really starting to lean into content. It's good to see you like pumping content too. Even us, we're doing our best to just keep going, right?
You know, it's interesting though because that runway thing. Because I think about that all the time. I'm like, if shit just hit the fan, how long could I last?
Yeah.
But it's good to have those thoughts because like you're preparing or whatever. Like if you're worried about it, then you're probably doing okay, like, or you should be. Like if you're worried about it and you're not doing anything about it, then like what the hell are you doing? Why are you worried about it?
Yeah, exactly. No, if you're worried about it and you don't have much of a runway and then you go home, you know, you're taking the night off watching Netflix all night or gaming and not creating content, you're hurting yourself, you're hurting your business, you're hurting your community. So these are all things to just build on and be aware of. We all got our own financial state in the world and we all come from different walks of lives and understood. But the tools to create these days are much easier accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
yeah, yes, just the other day I showed off like a free website where you can just like edit pictures and make emotes and whatever, and it's just like free, boom, here you go.
Yeah, man.
And I just found these things randomly from needing it and not being a professional. And I didn't want to fully rely on people like JoJo or whatever. Like, I got sick of asking people to resize things and color this and do that. So I'm like, I got to figure out at least something small that I can do myself.
Right.
So I don't need to, like, ask and wait for these things that are just small little blips. Yeah, and even exactly, that video that I just made, like, I waited a couple days for Diamante to see if he would do something for me, and he didn't. So I was like, okay, I got to figure something out. So I blacked my video out and pretended I was Diamante.
Yeah. No, it's great. I think that's, you got it done. And you can always evolve that in the future, right? Nothing says you can't take the next iteration of it to the next level, use animation, hire...
I have the thing, like the video template saved or whatever, so if I need to go in there and switch out me for him, like, yeah, you can evolve it.
That's another thing, is like you've created the concept now, right? Even if that's not the final form. Right. Let's say you get in touch with like a crazy video editor who can do 3D animation and stuff. You can be like, yo, I need that, but put epic. Your artwork on it. Yeah. And now they have something to look at and just recreate.
Right.
So that's great too, right? Is like, you don't need to put out the final best product perfect and wait years for it to get done, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you're launching a movie, something permanent, it's more challenging to get to that stage. But this is growth. Like when you're building out streams, you're building out communities, like it's going to grow. You're going to put out stuff that sucks. You're going to take shots at things that you're not sure, right? Mm-hmm. And looking at them and being like, okay, maybe this didn't hit as hard as I wanted it to, but it hit, right? And next time I can put a little bit more into it, or I can take it to the next level or whatever.
Hell yeah.
So many people look at things and just be like, failure. They're just like, give up.
Because there is a lot of failure.
For sure.
And you got to push through it.
Fail forward, man, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Take the L and keep moving.
I always take the L, especially in Tilted.
I made an image yesterday. I drew a picture on my thing, and it looks like shit.
Oh. But you're practicing.
My goal was like learning.
But you're practicing.
Exactly. My goal was learning how to draw on this tablet. It's my first time doing it.
That's probably that's what scares people so much about like going for something, I guess, Oh, I suck. Like people are going to make fun of me and I sound bad or this looks bad and then they just don't do it. It's like, how the hell are you ever going to get good if you don't practice?
Yeah, man. You gotta keep beating your head against it, right?
Yeah. I saw something the other day that was like, whenever you get into these moments of like wanting to quit something that you're trying to do or you're failing or whatever, like ask yourself why you're feeling the way you're feeling and then like just battle through it, like why am I getting frustrated? Do I need to take a break? Do I need to eat? Do I need, like you've pushed through things that you've learned before in the past. How did you push through those things that you've learned before in the past? Were you more passionate about the thing in the past? Are you not passionate about what you're doing here? Does it need, all this shit other than just like, I'm done.
Yeah. No, that's great advice.
Yeah. I still can't deal with robots on the phone, though. I don't know how to get over that. Just smash 0 until I get a human.
Oh, I do the same thing, man. I'd be curious. I mean, like, I really...
I guess that's a
just
solution.
To dive into that, I think that's old mentality, man. Like stuff like that. That's like business is not evolving.
Like automated type stuff like that, or?
Yeah, they're trying to automate, but they're automating it in the cheap way. They're not making it like intuitive. Mm-hmm. And just cutting costs, right? So that's why it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's like, this could be so much easier. It's like filing your taxes, right? It's like, how is this so complex? Like we've been here for years doing taxes every single year. How has it not gotten easier? How is that not auto tracked, right? Like how does the government not just mail you and go, this is the amount of money that moved in your bank
why, right? Like, because they're lobbying it. They're, there's jobs.
No,
of,
yeah,
of like
no,
the tax dudes, you know, whatever
creates
they
jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's true. It's like I feel the government knows what you owe. It's like, here you go, just pay this. And then we're all like, I gotta do my taxes. I'm gonna go to jail. If the IRS ever comes to me, I'm just gonna be like, I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know what. Tell me what I owe and I'll pay it. What do you want me to do? Take me to jail, I guess, for being an idiot.
Straight up, right? Just tell me what I owe. I'll pay it. Just show me a number.
Yeah. Instead, I gotta pay this website or this guy to help me.
Oh,
which I
man.
don't. Well, I mean, I use the websites. I pay the websites, but I go through it all myself. It's not that difficult, but like, it's still like, why? It's still a day out of my life.
System, yeah. It's just funny.
Yeah.
They exist all over. Those systems exist all over the world still. Different, in different states.
Yeah.
Not U.S. states, but like states of existence, right?
I always end up overpaying somehow anyway. They send me a $600 check next year. It's like, okay, you overpaid. You overpaid last year. Here you go. All right. Why not give it to me last year? You guys expect us to pay you on the perfect date. And when it comes to giving us our money back that we screwed up or whatever, you owe us money. Takes a year. Woo! I guess it's kind of
going.
Yeah. Taxes, they just bother me, man. Not paying them. Like, I don't, whatever.
The process,
I get it.
Right?
Yeah.
The process. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not just taxes. There's just these systems all over the world that, like,
arbitrary
like
and
they're
like
ancient, right?
All this middleman stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I think all this middleman stuff's really like, just take me to the source.
Yeah. Matrix. Just get me right in there.
Which is good that, like, you and I are available the way I just popped in my head. You and I are available like that. Like, we are I'm not really the source. I guess I'm the middleman. You're the source. I'm kind of a source, but you're the main source.
The whole studio, like, you can get the information, right? It's not like you can't. So it's like, you could be the source if you needed to be, right? And I think you are in a lot of cases. Obviously, when it comes to like the top level business functionality, it's like, you can't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, like, I love that. I love that about us. I love having a Discord that anybody can pop into and just ask shit, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you may not get the answer you want, but you'll probably get an answer. So I think that's I think that's just the way forward. Like, we're here for the people around us, right? Building communities is like, it is the way forward. If you're building something, if you're building a product, a service or something, you have to build a community around it.
Yeah.
Right? And you can't just, you could just market it, but I think those days are over, right? Like, you want a community to engage and to do fun stuff with, and not just like this boring ass, like, here's this thing we made and that's it, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, here's the thing, we're hype about it, get involved, like, talk about it
Welcome to
around us.
Back for Blood.
What? They just put it out and left it?
Yeah, there's like, the community is trying, but there's just like nothing from, like, the community puts together like tournaments and like some people throw in some money for it, but devs just don't listen, dude.
I wonder if that's like an example of like an old business coming into the new world, thinking that they just need to make the game.
Maybe.
Well, who knows? Who knows what's going on behind the scenes, right?
Yeah. It just makes me want to play GTFO again, because that's a great community, man. I don't even know. Yeah.
That's the underground one, right? Where there's like those tunnels or whatever.
Yeah, but they have a great Discord, like a whole bunch of channels where people like can meet up and play together or whatever. Like, it's good.
That's the way to go, man.
Yeah. I would def make a video. Pain time. What's up, dude? I would def make a video if I had a good computer to run it on. Yeah, and I think that's you know, marbles is intensive in general, so that's one of the biggest hurdles, I think, as a marbles streamer. To make like a good stream around marbles, you do need I mean, I guess any game, right? You do need a decent system to run it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're streaming and playing the game, you need a decent system.
Well, and then like we talk about in a good bit, like with the performance, if people are using like Capagen and all these like GIFs on their OBS, you know, I deal with that all the time. Like I have to consolidate and figure out things all the time because I use so many stupid random little things, but I've learned better ways to make it less laggy over time and to just like not use certain things or whatever.
Right.
So yeah. So that plays a huge part. If you notice, you're like, watch your VODs. If you're a streamer, watch your freaking VODs every once in a while and just see, like, is this super laggy? Okay, let me try getting rid of this and not using this, and then watch it again after doing that, and then, like, you know.
I mean, ultimately, you should see this stuff live.
Yeah.
Really, you should see it live. You should have the tools set up to, like, monitor your stream. You're putting on a show.
Right.
Right? If you're not tuning the show as you go, what are you doing? What are you creating, right? And I do understand, like, there's different cases. Like, if you don't care about growth, you don't care about this, you know, you're not really trying to grow. You're just learning how to stream. Like, all these things you got to take into account. And if, like, growth is not time to grow, then don't panic about stuff like that. But if you're sitting there being like, why aren't people showing up? Why is my stream not growing? You have to assess these things. These things need to be assessed live.
Yeah.
Like,
it's small little tweaks that, like, it's crazy how they affect everything.
It's crazy. It is insane. It is insane. Like, you might have your computer plugged in the wrong power bar. You don't have the full juice going in, right? That can impact things. Like, there's so much that you got to learn.
Yeah, even just a wire in the wrong place, like a mic wire going over other wires, can create a buzz, and it's like you got to get that wire away from other electrical stuff.
and these things, like, really, you learn over time by just adjusting, right? And it's just like, it just comes into the idea again of, like, iterating. If you're not constantly iterating on your product,
you're not learning these things.
You're not learning the things, right? So it's like, oh, my mic sounds like shit. Okay, well, how do I fix mic sounding like shit? Right? You start Googling and you start digging in. And then you learn that thing. And then a month later, something else will pop up, you know, staticky sound or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, I got to dig that. Oh, I plugged this in and now that's causing more power to flow through the lines and this is causing the static. You just learn these things. But if you're not plugging, if you're not trying to fix something, you're literally not learning. You're missing opportunities to learn and to make things better for yourself and your community.
I could have given up so many times the past couple days, man. Whew.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Especially because it was like 90 degrees here too. I'm just like trying to get my stuff going and it's not working. It's 90 degrees and I'm sweating. I'm like, fuck that shit. And my stream's crashing and I'm like, rah! But like, what I've done here, like I had it in my mind to do for so long, and I knew, like, I just wanted to push through it and get it done. And yeah, how long have I been talking about 2 PC setup, you know? And it just hasn't.
You bought the PC how long ago?
Right. It just hasn't been working out based on whatever.
Well, you didn't want to sink the time into it, right? Basically.
Yeah.
You knew that it would take some time, and you're like, now's not the time for me to sink this much time. I got a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
And that's another thing to really take into account, right? Like, I think life situation is massive.
Yep.
Like,
definitely.
If your brain is not settled, external to your work or to whatever you're building, right? If your brain is not settled, it's going to be very challenging to achieve the extras.
Yeah, dude. Right? And I just, like, some example off of this I notice all the time is when I'm like streaming and I'm hungry, all I'm thinking about, all my brain is doing, I'm hungry. I can't focus on anything else. I'm just hungry. I'm hungry. And I'm just like, I have to go eat something. Like, I can't focus on anything. So
yeah, man.
So there's something small like that, like being hungry, like, yeah.
It just rips apart from what you're building. And once again, this is just like a little thing you can learn to adapt what you're doing, right? To make it better, to expand, to grow.
Right. Like fuel up before your stream.
Yeah. Like, you know what's let's get a little raw
Ooh.
into like distractions and negativity and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when there's a top 3 push and 4 or 5 people are going for it, or maybe even 10 people are going for it, I find it very interesting that most of the time it turns into butting heads.
Yeah.
As opposed to everybody creating this insane push together. Because one thing we know is when you're going for a push, most of the community is spread throughout all those channels.
Mm-hmm.
How do you hype up the community even harder towards what you're pushing for? Is everybody works together and layers with each other. Imagine if like 1 did an event with 4, 4 did an event with 3, 3 did an event with 2, and like it just hopped around and you did all these events rolling and all those streamers work together. It wouldn't matter who won in the end,
Right.
because you've all achieved growth throughout the season. That season
sounds like just take
together.
away the prizes for a couple seasons, see what happens.
Well, they don't know how I don't think people, I think people are so distracted into the, like they got blinders on. A lot of people get blinders. Not everybody. People get blinders on when you're going for something and often forget the power that you have when you're working together.
I mean, it's also, I don't want to blame anybody, but it's also viewers being like, this is my streamer, you know, I don't want to help these other streamers. I want my streamer to win or something, you know?
Well, that's because it's the verbiage coming from the streamer. It's always the leader. The leader is the cause and effect of everything going on.
I saw a great video on something like this the other day. I actually have it saved in my Discord. It's just this guy at a festival, and he's the lone wolf, and he's like got his shirt off, and he's like making a fool of himself, and this guy's narrating it. I should just show it, but he's like, okay, now we're watching this guy, and he's like the leader right now, but he looks like a crazy man until there's a follower, and until there's one person that follows up, and then that person's taking the risk to follow, and then all of a sudden there's a huge movement beyond that. Like, first there's a leader, and then there's that one follower that comes in, and then that just like creates this wave of whatever people that want to join in as well because they don't feel as weird doing it, I guess, because of the leader. And because of that first follower joining in.
Exactly. So, yeah, I just think there's a lot of power in the community. There's a lot. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just easy to get distracted in these pushes and forget who you're surrounded by. And you're surrounded by amazing people. Like, I've been scrolling Twitter a lot lately, mm-hmm. and I see like searching marbles on stream specifically. Right, that verbiage, and then I go through the latest and I just scroll down. I see so much comments about positivity. This community, like, I just played marbles. The marbles community is so positive. I've never seen such a wholesome community out there. And it's not my words, that's their words. Like, people are like just random people who pop into marbles.
Yeah.
So if that's the external opinion, holy shit. Like, everybody in the community should just be working together, and who cares who wins, right? That should be like the cherry on top, right? And some people get the cherry, but in the end, if everybody grows in this ecosystem, everybody wins, in my opinion, because it's not about the one season win. It's not about that. We're all building streams. I think most people in the community, and sorry, go ahead. I think most people in the community are just trying to build their stream. They're trying to build an ecosystem for themselves and for their community, right? And build a community. And there's just so much power out there. There's so many different levels of creativity. Everybody could bounce off each other. There's a Discord. People could just like hit each other and just be like, yo, I thought of this. Oh, I thought of this. Yo, did you try this? Yo, what if we do this together? Like, you have the, what's it called? The, I forgot the tool, the cycle bot, sorry. Right? You have the cycle. And like that can layer streamers together.
It's got like the combo, right? Like you can do multiple streams.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like functional now. I don't know what state
right.
it's in, but like if somebody asked, I'm sure there'd be, hey, you know, like put some money towards this or whatever, build it out. But even if Smurf's not interested in that, there's nothing secret about that build, like the way it's built, right? So it doesn't stop anybody from somebody else doing that. There's just so much power there for people to work together. There's so much. And yeah, just it can be sometimes like, it's interesting to see people butting heads because you're all working towards the same goal.
Yeah, and I was gonna say earlier, like we've learned, and if you've been around for a bit, you know, like, I mean, what is that ball? It's great to have the ball in the game, right? It's great to earn the ball in the game and have the emote, but is that really what's like drawing people to you? You know?
Right.
I don't think so. So
I don't think so either.
So if you're like, I don't know. Yeah, it just, it's tough though because it's competition, man. People just want to win. But
hey, you know what? Like, I get the competition. I get somebody being like, "Yo, I'm going for third," whatever.
yeah,
But like, it's just the butting heads that it really confuses me, right? Like tearing somebody else down because they're doing it differently or whatever. Like, we all have our opinions. We've all gone through these stages of like being like, "Oh, this works. I know this works. You're doing it wrong." Blah blah. Right? But there's just so much.
Every time, I mean,
so many good people here.
Just to be real, like every time I ever go for the grind or do it a little bit or whatever, I always see things around. People love to talk smack about the way other streamers are doing things, like
including
crazy.
Us.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
We all do it.
We've been around this ecosystem for a long time. We see what works and what doesn't. But one thing we haven't seen is what you do. Right? Like, we haven't seen your path in terms of you as everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like, the next person's path. We haven't seen that yet because it hasn't happened yet. And that's always the case. And if somebody's on their path, they just need to crush it.
Crush. Yeah.
There was a comment earlier I wanted to bounce off, but it was way earlier. I missed it.
Was it a raw or was it just a comment?
It was a comment off what we were talking about, and I forgot what we were talking about.
How does one get good at marbles? Do you want me to hit one of these rolls up?
One sec.
Okay.
So, like, I think it was regarding the partner stuff, and somebody said when you get there, surely it's for the fun after, right? That's what I see for me when I eventually get there, right? The fun. And of course, like, number one, you should be having fun regardless of doing this, right? Because that's what's going to carry you through the good times and the bad times. Mm-hmm. But having these like ultimate goals, like you need goals, right? There's something driving you right now, and often it's partner. Partner drives you. And what you don't understand, what most people don't understand, is that once that goal disappears, usually the push stops. Most people go, well, there's nothing else to push for. There's no reason to go, right? And if you don't have that reason to go, it doesn't matter how much, like you can have fun, but you need to have these goals set up, right? Because it's like, I can play this. I could play Fortnite on stream with you all day, right? Mm-hmm. That's not going to cheat. Like, I'm going to have a ton of fun, but is that going to achieve what I'm trying to build?
Right.
Right. I'm trying to build a game and a community, and playing Fortnite all day is not going to achieve that. That's, it goes back to my New World adventure for months, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I had a ton of fun. I was having a great time, but in the end, it wasn't building the game, and it wasn't building the community. It wasn't building the business I'm trying to build. Mm-hmm. So what takes a hit? That takes a hit. So that's all I wanted to like kind of get off.
No, yeah, I mean, when I got partner for a little while after, like, it took me a bit to like figure out what my next goal was and what I wanted to do. I kind of always knew, but I didn't know how to start, and like, I don't know, it took a bit, and I'm still not fully where I want to be with my, I guess, full-on streaming goals, but like, I'm getting there. Like, I do a little bit here, and I'm getting there. So yeah, I mean, I totally, as when I got partner, I went through that. Like, I totally get it.
I think it's easy to go through that.
Yeah. Because it's like, what do I do next? Do I just keep doing what I'm doing? Which is probably what you should do, right? Keep doing what you're doing. But for some reason, it's like, once you hit that goal, it's like, okay, what is next? Like, it's got to keep going, keep creating your own goals.
Yeah, man. Yeah, let's hit these raws because we got like a little bit of time.
Oh shit, yeah. Gucci Lee here, big fan. Sometimes I'm feeling bothered by some toxicity from others in the community. What are the best ways to avoid this to better my experience? I ignore people. I /ignore. Use that command in Twitch. If someone's just bothering the hell out of you, /ignore them. Then you don't see anything they say. If you see them in the races and that's bothering you too, then I guess you just don't race there. I don't know what. If you can't stand your ball being in the same race as someone else, then just don't race there. But you know,
block is a beautiful tool.
Yeah, people don't want to do that though.
People are so afraid of doing that, and you know what I've learned over time is a lot of the people I end up blocking, I eventually unblock them because I just come to a point of like my life and just be like, I'll leave it open again.
Because time goes by and things change or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of time it's self-evolution that you need. That's what it is. That's what I'm learning. Is like somebody said something, unless it's like if somebody's saying some evil shit, right? Block them and report them, right? Let's get that baseline set, right?
Right. If someone's doing something serious, like it's not just like, oh, they were mean. It's like actual harassment, actual doxing, actual like against the law shit. It needs to be reported, not just like.
Right. But now once we set that baseline, the rest of it is self-growth, right? It's learning to deal with opinions you don't like.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's learning to deal with somebody and just be like, I don't like what that person said. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to engage with it.
Right.
Right. But if it really like, I find when it's the younger you are, the less tolerance you have. Because me 5 years ago is a lot different than me now. And I find I'm getting more tolerant. I'm learning to be more tolerant because I'm understanding that the less tolerant I am, the less tolerant the people around me are. And it reflects to everything you do.
Yeah.
So I'm still working. I'm not perfect. It'll be years before I'm even close to better, but I'm always working and I'm more aware of it now than I was. And I find I'm unblocking people more now because I'm like, why? Why am I blocking people? Right?
I just ignore them. /ignore is a great command. If they really want to talk to me, you know, I don't have them blocked anywhere or whatever. It's just like, they're ignored. I don't want to see their bullshit in my chat. Other people can talk to them if they want to, but I'm not going to look at it. Because it gets to a point where it's just too much, you know? And honestly, maybe they should get banned, right, from the channel so that they aren't bothering if they're bothering me, they're probably bothering other people. So it's like, fuck them. I don't know.
It's the basic social media stuff that you need to learn to deal with, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, it's going to happen on every platform and you got to deal with it.
It's okay to not like people. It's okay for people not to like you.
Very okay. You don't need to be friends with everybody. There's just different. There's so many different people in the world.
It takes a while to really get that through your head, I think, though. You know, like it does. Like it's still hard for me too. It takes me a long time or something big for me to have to ignore somebody or block somebody or whatever. Like I put up with shit for a long time before I'm like, I'm over this. I'm so over this.
To me, the stuff that like for me now is when people use other people's posts to get to other people. That bothers me.
Yeah.
Because you're essentially shitting on somebody else to shit on somebody else. Like it's a chain shit.
Yeah. A chain of shit.
And that kind of stuff. Like I'm cool. You want to shit all over me? If you want to shit straight on me, cool. Do it all you want. I'll deal with it. When you start using other people, I don't like that. I really don't like that.
Right. Yeah. Will we have new BR stadiums when the new builder comes out? Yeah, builders will be able to build royales. Yeah,
I want people to be able to build all the game modes, even tilted. It might be a path for like as we walk forward through the builder, because it needs we want to build so much into it. If you keep hearing me talk about it, there's just so much that I want to get into this builder. But yeah, royales, tilted, everything. Like why can't you? You know, right?
Right. Real quick, Ferret says, sometimes the reason people don't like others is totally a misunderstanding, and that's why communication is freaking huge. If you are feeling a headbutt with somebody else and you're like, wait, we've never had this before, we like each other, whatever. Oh, I gotta get rid of this alert thing. Holy crap. What the hell's going on? Thank you, though. Where's that even coming from? Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, man, communication is so huge. Like, there's been times where, like, I think I'm hating someone. Like, do I hate this person? Do they hate me? What's going on? And then you talk, and everything's just fine. Like, people want to just fester and not talk to each other, right? And just come up with all these things that aren't true. It's like, oh, this person's probably saying this, and this person's probably thinking that, and it's like, what the fuck? You have probably not. Go talk to them. And, you know, that's another thing. It's really hard for people to like get raw and really communicate with each other about how they feel and hash it out.
Yeah.
But as someone who comes from a management background, like, oh my God, the amount of times that I could feel tension between employees or between me and them and just pull them aside and talk to them rather than blasting them publicly, which can be hard to not do as a streamer, but it's very important to seclude people when talking to them about their important issues and feelings and whatnot, rather than doing it on stream, because you're going to get more of a real conversation and be able to hash things out, as opposed to doing it publicly and everyone seeing it and whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, 2 minutes. Let's get to the juicy question. This is a two-parter. Spoo, are you going to grow the hair back? I don't know. Pixel, are you going to grow the beard back?
I don't know. Well, I am. I'm growing it.
Yeah, I mean, the hair's growing. Been here so long, it's like seeing your dad for the first time as a child with a shave and a haircut. Well, you've both recently rehauled your setups. What is your top takeaway from the experience for anyone who's thinking of doing the same? You got to put in a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I would say map out, like, if you're resetting things up, map it out. If you're just setting it up for the first time, just go for it and see what happens. You'll learn along the way. But like, if you're resetting it up, like mapping out what I want on my stream deck, mapping out where I, like Pixel said earlier, he put his monitors around or whatever, and like, I don't know if that was on stream or not, but
no.
But like, yeah, you know, it's like in my head, and I draw it out. Like, where do I need my lights? What do I want my green screens and my monitors and all this stuff? Like, storyboard it basically.
Yeah, exactly. White box it. Whatever you wanna.
Yeah, that's it. Final thoughts?
In general, is that all the raw?
Is it?
Oh, sweet. No, just
take control. I like to say that. Take control. You know, like, you have so many tools. Today.
It's easy to get consumed, right, and get distracted. I know very well what that feels like. I'm just talking from my experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, do your thing, build your thing. If somebody's in your way, right, navigate around them. Or if you really have to blast through. But in the end, I think overall the Marvels community is like really powerful. I think we
have so much power, dude.
That's why it's so aggressive.
Well, and that's why it sucks to see. I mean, it's going to happen in any community, but that's why it sucks to see the headbutting here and there. And, you know, some people reach out to me and they say, you know, this person's really toxic and I don't like them. And I'm just like, okay, block them.
Yeah.
Don't hang out if they're a streamer, don't hang out with them. Show them that you don't, like, why would you keep showing up somewhere where they treat you like shit?
Yep. True. It really comes like there's just so much to be like positive about.
Yeah.
So to watch people just dig into the negativity and dig in so hard about whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just so painful to watch. But people need to go through these steps of their lives, whatever that is. And yeah, I always just try to like verbalize it. I probably verbalize it in a more aggressive way, and it lights fires instead of
tough love, man. It's because we're frustrated about it.
Yeah, because you watch it happen over and over again, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, come on, like, there's bigger things to focus on here.
Yeah.
And usually the pain comes from other pain, right? We know this. If you're in pain, it'll reflect into your work, right? If you're happy, it'll reflect into your work. So if you can just step back 10 seconds and just be like, am I pissed off about something else?
Right.
Okay. Am I leaning into something that I don't need to lean into?
Are you just reacting, or are you like, you know, taking the time to think about your reaction.
Yeah,
as I like to say, it's not what happens to you, it's how you react to it. Actually, that's not an original by me. It's a long time ago quote, but I don't know who originally said it. But it's a good one.
Yeah, that's where I would just put a lot of emphasis on, is like, just keep crushing it. Everybody's crushing in their own ways. There's so much good to be had in this community, on Twitch or on Marbles. I feel like attention is changing. I feel like people are looking for more engaging ecosystems, more events, more things to dive into, things to get attached to. So if you're just, I really don't like doing this, but if you're just there rolling,
the hangout zones are great, and if that's what you want to do it. But if you want to build and become something, you gotta put on events. You gotta create that ecosystem. What the
value proposition is, right?
That's funny, the value proposition, because we're going to raid someone named No Values.
Hell yeah.
Never been there before. Guys, thank you for great Raw. Pixel, thanks for coming out as always. Thanks for your questions and listening. Fair, one thing, if you got banned in the community, if you really care about fixing the misunderstanding that may have happened, ban appeals, reach out to mods. We have all these tools. And sometimes things just aren't going to work out, and that's life, unfortunately. They might just see that, okay, that miscommunication happened, and we don't like you anymore, and that's a pill to swallow, right? Copium.
Sometimes that just needs time, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I unblock people all the time that I'm just like,
exactly.
Not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
So.
Time. All right, guys. Pixel. See you next time. See you guys next time. Think about some questions all week. What you want to bring up. It doesn't matter. We'll talk about anything, as you can see. Peace.